friends, and welcome to this evening's video where we're going to talk about the new ENHYPEN album, Orange Blood. And because I have nothing else to tell you, we're going to just jump into how this video is going to work. I'm going to run through the track list, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on each song, and then I'm going to give this album a score out of 10 at the end. However, a few disclaimers before we continue. Disclaimer number one, this album is new. It's been out for like 45-ish minutes, so I'm not an experienced listener, let's call it. My opinions on this album very much may change over time. Second disclaimer, my standard one, everything I say in this video is just my opinion. You do not have to agree with my opinion because, as the mug always says, music is subjective, and that is great. Okay, now that we have all of that out of the way, let's get started. And our first song is the intro song, Mortal. And here's the thing, just like with what I'm pretty sure is every ENHYPEN intro song, it starts off with some speaking, some spoken word moments, and it's fine. After that, we actually have some singing, and it's nice. It's cool. I was into it. Then more narration again, then more singing, closing with narration. And I don't know if ENHYPEN's ever done an intro song like this. I'm pretty sure all their intro songs up until this point have been spoken at the start and singing at the end. I don't know if they've switched back and forth like this before, but I'm a bad fan, and by that I mean I'm not the biggest fan. So I just don't know off the top of my head, and I don't care to check. But if this is a first time thing, it's fine. Honestly, I never love a spoken intro to an album. Like, same thing with LE SSERAFIM's intros. I don't love them. They're not for me. I prefer, I would so much rather a little instrumental intro, absolute moment if it's done right. Even just like a 90-second song as an intro. A spoken intro, I feel like it's a lot easier to mess that up. And unfortunately, I think this is one of the times it's less than ideal. On to the next song, which is the title track, Sweet Venom. And I must concede that while I did watch the teaser and it sounded good in the teaser, I was still very fearful because the Bite Me teaser also sounded really good, and then they fucked that song with its awful pre-chorus, so I was fearful. I was fearful this was going to be another similar situation. However, I can proudly report that this song is actually kind of amazing. Like, it's no groundbreaking piece of music, not by any means, but by ENHYPEN standards, it's very good. Because if you ask me personally, I haven't liked their titles really since Tamed Dashed, I think was the last one that I really liked. So we've definitely made progress with this one. We've made great strides of progress. But let's get into the song. Starting off, we have the verses, and they're both pretty similar. Sometimes I'll do just like different verses if they're different styles. There's not like one verse where like this is the rap verse, this is the vocal verse. They're very similar verses, but I enjoyed both of them. I was jamming to both of them. I'm not going to complain about them. The bridge, meanwhile, is pretty short, but it is phenomenal. My only issue with this bridge is just that I wish there was more of it. I wish it was longer. I wish they flushed it out because I really liked the bridge. Same thing with the pre-chorus. Again, it's short, but it flows so perfectly into the chorus. Like, I wanted more of it. And speaking of the chorus, incredible chorus. I was having the time of my life to this chorus. I was really into it. I thought it was excellent. Big picture though, while this is very good and I did very much enjoy it, this is not the best ENHYPEN title. Tamed Dashed is light years ahead of this. I love Tamed Dashed so much. This is not on that level. However, ENHYPEN hasn't given a title that I enjoy since Tamed Dashed. I said that earlier, but it's true. Like, I haven't liked an ENHYPEN title since Tamed Dashed, so I'm going to consider this a win. And I really, really hope they can continue to release titles that I enjoy. Okay, next is Still Monster. And it's actually really nice. It's a lot more toned down, a lot more vocally forward, like the singing is front and center. And I don't know if it's that certain members of ENHYPEN took vocal lessons since their last album, or if I just forgot how well they can sing, but their vocals here sounded better than usual to me. However, just because the vocals are shining, that isn't to say that the background music isn't also great. Like, it is. It's very good too. The verses, meanwhile, were solid, and I enjoyed the pre-chorus. However, if you ask me, in addition to the vocals, the shining part of the song is definitely the chorus. This chorus had almost a hypnotic effect on me. I don't know what it was about it. Maybe it was the vocals, maybe it was the lyrics, maybe it was a combination of the two, but I was absolutely enthralled by this chorus. Anyway, up next is Far, and honestly, hear me out. This had the potential to be one of ENHYPEN's best songs, like full stop period, not just best B-sides, like best songs. But there's a few things holding it back. First, the background music. There are certain parts of the song where the background music is great. I don't want you to misunderstand. Like, for a lot of the song, I did enjoy the background music. But then there are the parts that aren't that good. Like, the intro to the song, for example, had me terrified. We were about to get an awful song. Like, moments like that really make me question how great as a whole this background music is. The same thing applies for the rest of the song, ignoring the background music. There are parts like the pre-chorus and the bridge that are stunning and some of the best in ENHYPEN's catalog, especially the bridge. Like, that bridge was a moment. But then there's parts like the second half of the chorus, right? Which bring the song down, at least for me personally. I didn't like that part. However, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad. Like, I still enjoyed the vast majority of this song, and I can definitely be Stockholmed into enjoying the rest of it. But at this moment, like right here, right now, I am a little disappointed with how they fumbled this. Our next song is Orange Flowers, parentheses, You Complete Me, and this is another nice one. It's less of an active banger, more of just a layback and vibe type of song. However, if you're into that style, especially from a group like ENHYPEN, I think you'll enjoy this one. Like, the verses are solid, the pre-chorus is phenomenal, and the chorus is great too. Plus, I think this will make exceptional background noise. It's not bad as an active listening experience. I enjoyed my time listening to this song and taking notes for it, but I think this, while answering emails, will be a bit of a moment. Okay, we have reached the final two songs, which is the Sweet Venom English version and the Sweet Venom Bella Porch remix, and they are basically the same song. We'll get to it, but I'm just gonna wrap them all up into one. I feel like doing separate sections for each of them is irrelevant. I'm mostly gonna focus on the Bella Porch one though, because I have nothing to add to the English version. Everything I said for the Korean version stands for the English version. But the Bella Porch version, first of all, I have quite literally 1,000 questions about how this collaboration even came to be. However, I also have zero intention whatsoever of researching these questions, finding actual answers for them. If you know them and want to comment them, that would be lovely for my own education. I do love to learn, but I don't care enough to actually find out for myself. Anyway, this song and the English version are, let's say, extremely similar, and as I just said, the English version and the Korean version are basically the same to me. However, I do want to talk about this song because I think it's interesting, and I want to do a case study, okay? We're going to compare and contrast this song with Back for More by Tuxt. Now, Back for More has two versions, right? There's the Anita version, aka the version with, I would say, an established pop star, but I'd never heard of Anita. And also, I don't think I would call Bella Porch an established pop star, but with a feature, okay? Like, there's a version with a feature in the second verse, and then there's a separate version that's only the members. And in the Tuxt Back for More cinematic universe, in Back for More, the two second verses are wildly different, like borderline night and day different. They're completely distinct verses. This is like the opposite of that. The lyrics to Bella Porch's verse, which is the second verse, are literally identical to the second verse of just the English version of this song without her. And it makes me question why we have both versions. Like, with the Tuxt song, I get why we had both, because they're different. This one, hear me out. I think what they should have done is the English version shouldn't have existed. It should have just been this, like, you can keep it in English, but the English song shouldn't have existed, and instead you had the Korean version and your English version was the Bella Porch remix. I just think it would have worked better, because listening to the English version and then immediately following it up with essentially the exact same song just didn't make it as enjoyable of a listen. But that's all I have to tell you about this album. So with that, it is score time. And overall, I'm going to give this album a 9 out of 10. It is possibly the best ENHYPEN album. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but I just think there's the least songs I didn't like on it. So there is that. I will also concede this was a lot less dancey than I was expecting. Like, ENHYPEN usually has one or two, what I would call an attempt at a banger, or sometimes a successful banger, but they usually have dancier songs on their albums. They had a lot less on this one, but I still greatly enjoyed it. I really think the primary thing that is holding this album back is I didn't like the intro, and also again just with the last two songs being borderline identical, just with a different vocalist for one of the verses, it just didn't wrap up the album as nicely as it could have. So yeah, 9 out of 10. And that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to comment your thoughts on this album down below. Let me know how you feel. You can also like and subscribe if you want to or don't. I will be okay either way. And in the description, I'm going to put all my other ENHYPEN reviews that I have done, so you can check all those out if you so choose. And yeah, thank you again for watching. Bye!